This is Tim with Death by Metal M&B. I am talking to
Trey Pemberton. I play guitar in Creeping Death. And Reese, I sing for Creeping Death. Rico, I play bass for Creeping Death. Lincoln, I play drums for Creeping Death.
Awesome, definitely. I guess tell us about the tour so far. How's it been, and how's life on the road?
Well, today's the first day, actually. We started in Little Rock, Arkansas. We do some routing dates. Out to D.C. to meet up with Inner Arma to complete the tour. So the first couple of days, just running through the Southeast. We got Nashville tomorrow night, and then we hit D.C. on Friday. We're just stoked. We've never played Little Rock, so this will be cool. We played Nashville a few times before. It's pretty sick there, so we're excited.
Definitely. How did you guys come up with the name for the band?
So basically, we're all hardcore kids. Yep. It's very common in hardcore to name your band after a song title or an album title of a band you're trying to sound like, or a band you like or respect. So that's kind of where that came from. The idea was actually from someone who's not involved in the band. It was the name of another project we were going to use, and it never came to fruition. Then we did this project, did the demo, had a show book and everything. We didn't have a name. Our first drummer was like, let's just use the name for the last project because he was involved in it. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So that's how it came to be.
Awesome, definitely. Who does all your album artwork, and who designed the logo and all that stuff?
Like who drew it, or like
who came up with that? Did someone in the band come up with that, or did?
Yeah, that's Reese. Reese comes up with all of the lyrics, all of the themes, all of the artwork ideas and stuff like that. That's they would be better suited to maybe talk about it. What do you want to know about?
Well, I mean, how did you come up with that kind of style and so forth? Because, like I said before, owning my magazine, it took a long time for me to get the right font, the right style. I had to pull from a lot of stuff, but it's kind of interesting when a band does it because that's your permanent mark, and how did you do that?
Well, I'm really into fantasy stuff like movies, TV shows, games, stuff like that. So that's where all my inspiration comes from. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry. Sorry, we just hit a curb.
Don't hit a curb.
But yeah, mostly just my interest in fantasy, stuff like that. And then obviously, give an idea to a good artist, they're going to come up with an out that's better.
Oh yeah, definitely. They'll come up with ideas and so forth like that. What are you guys on tour to support?
We are on tour with Inner Arma right now. We're excited. It's definitely a different type of band than we toured with, but after the first time I listened to them, I was like, damn, this is heavy. I'm stoked to see this. So I think we're all really excited to kind of play a different crowd. It's kind of a different lane for us.
And how's your new album coming out?
Do you mean when, or?
Yeah, when, how's it forming? Is it got good response? What's?
Oh yeah. So far, everyone has told us that it's sick. They really like it. Personally, we all really like it and feel like it's our best work by far. Everyone's pretty much echoed that sentiment to us. People are hyped on the single. It's been really, really sick, honestly. It's exceeded even my expectations.
And as far as touring and so forth, what's some of the best places that you've ever been touring?
Montreal. We played there for the first time in June. It was a 2-band show. We'd never been there before. We had no idea how it was going to go, and they asked for an encore. It was our first time in the city. It was really sick. Obviously, our hometown is lit. It's pretty. You know how the hometown shows go. It's always pretty lit there.
Yeah.
We always have good shows in LA too. We always have good shows in LA, and surprisingly enough, Colorado always has great shows. So.
What's one question I've always asked bands, and I always get different responses, but what's the pros and cons of doing a tour? because some of the places you don't even know where you're going. You're just like, hey, we're going to go there. What's the pros and cons of doing a tour, and what should a band look out for when they do a tour like that?
Bring a spare tire. Pros, definitely, you know, it's especially when you're in an isolated region like Texas, it's 12 to 20 hours away from the nearest biggest market. You really have to tour and get out there and get people to see you and come back multiple times and just keep your name out there. Otherwise, you kind of get lost in the shuffle. Definitely, I would recommend if you're really trying to do it, try to get out there. But as far as cons, hot, being broke, gas station food. Not sleeping at home, not showering at home, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
It gets monotonous.
Are you guys endorsed by anybody?
We have not really individually. I think we get discounts on stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much every band does that, unless you've got
thousands
of likes.
Hopefully soon we'll start getting them. I know Lincoln needs some new cymbals and I would like some stuff too.
Definitely. What's one band that you guys would like to dream or like to play with or even tour with, or play for? What's that dream band that you guys want to do?
Metallica.
That would be a very, very. I don't know if you'll be able to make any money because that would be a very expensive buy-on. That would be a really.
Yeah.
That would probably be in the 50,000 range, and you're just like, well, whatever.
Hard pass, but I guess realistically, I would love to do something like Obituary, Suffocation, Cannibal Corpse, like some of the really prominent death metal bands.
I think that would be very achievable. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really.
Have you opened up for those bands before, or no?
No, not yet.
Because that's something that that would probably be the way to go, to try to open up for some of those bands and do it like that. But doing a tour and things like that, I mean, you get to see things, you get to see the world. Who does most of your booking? Who does all that stuff?
We have right now he's kind of doubling as our manager and booking agent, I guess. But we don't really have anyone that's like an actual booking agent, I guess, so.
And do that. And as far as the end of this year and the beginning of next year, what do you guys have in store for that?
We have a tour with High on Fire, Power Trip, and Devil Master that starts in the beginning of November, November 7th actually, and that runs all the way through to December 8th, I think, right? Something like that. It's about a month, so we'll be rocking that. That's going to go full U.S. pretty much.
That's pretty cool.
Then we have some stuff next year, but we can't really talk about it yet. But it's going to be big. It's going to be big. That's
definitely cool. Definitely cool. Those are big bands to tour with. That's going to be a lot of people. My band ended up. We did a short tour with Megadeth. We paid. I think we paid almost $8,000. And it was a massive shit show. We didn't prepare for it. We didn't even know what we were doing. We didn't bring enough merch. And speaking of flat tires, we actually had an axle blowout, and we didn't even have the money to repair that at that time. So I hate touring, so I didn't. I quit the band after that. I was like, screw this, I'm not doing this, because we were stuck literally on the side of the road, I think in Nebraska, for about almost 72 hours. And we had police come by and stuff, talk to us and check on us, but it took that long to get a tow truck. We had to find the funds. We had to find the money. We had to call wives. We had no reception on phones at that time. It was just a bad deal. It was pre-2013 stuff. And then we opened up for Megadeth. We thought we're going to talk to Dave Mustaine and blah, blah, blah. That never happened. And it was like, at the end of the run, I was like, I'm done. I've been playing since I was 15. I'd rather just play in my bedroom. I'm done. Screw this. I'm not doing this anymore. And I had the flu. So it just compacted, and that's the second time that happened to me, because I helped the band Fit for an Autopsy one time, and I had a double ear infection, and I should have never did that in the middle of the winter, and now I'm like, you know what, screw this, I'll never ever do that ever again. Like, that's never. I'm too old to. I'm I'm wise in my years. I'm like, whatever. You guys got gusto. Like I said before, touring is a very special experience with any band. And number one is safety, and make sure that everyone's okay, because you always hear about that stupid thing that happens, but for the most part, I mean, that's the way to see people, and to get out there, and plus you're doing a big tour with High on Fire coming up. Once you get the taste of that, this touring stuff is, I mean, you're gonna want to do the bigger tours more often. You don't want to keep on doing the little ones, but what was your first metal album you ever bought, and what was the first metal concert you ever went to for all of you?
Ooh, okay. So the first, TBH, I've always been a download or stream kind of guy. But really the first metal album, okay, let's go let Rico go. Yeah, my first actual CD I bought that was like definitely metal was actually Master of Puppets by Metallica. So that was definitely very sick. As far as first concert, it would have been something that wasn't terribly metal, but some scene band, I'm sure, some local scene band from around here. But was always a metalhead. It's just hardcore was kind of easier to get into. The shows were cheaper. It was more fun, more friendly. So pretty.
Definitely.
I think the first metal CD I ever bought, Lincoln, by the way. The first metal CD I ever bought was probably, or at least that I remember buying that was metal, was Ashes of the Lake by Lamb of God. It was around the time Sacrament came out, though, but I bought Ashes of the Lake first. I don't know why. And the first concert I ever went to was Slipknot on the first Mayhem Fest in 2008, and Machine Head was the first band I actually watched.
That's
cool. It was pretty fucking sick.
That's very cool.
Yeah, mine's definitely not as cool. The first metal show I went to was actually Warped Tour, so that's kind of embarrassing. Other than that, really, this was bad. I don't buy a lot of music. Actually, I guess technically I bought Manifest Decimation when it came out, because that was a big deal for the Texas hardcore scene. That Power Trip was doing it big, so I bought that record. I guess that was the first.
The first song I ever downloaded was Inner Sandman. Ever. That was the first thing I ever downloaded off iTunes as a kid. And same Mayhem Fest, but not Disturbed. She had Dragon Force.
Dragon Force.
Yeah, that was the first metal show I went to.
There you go. That's something that I tell people all the time. I was like, the first metal concert I ever went to was Iron Maiden. My uncle took me to, and the opening band was Twisted Sister, and I was like, told my uncle, I kept on telling him, who the fuck are these girls? And he's like, that's not girls, it's guys. And I'm like, I don't like this band. That's not fucking, what's, what is this? And then the first metal album I ever bought in my life, actually, my uncle, again, he gave it to me. He gave me a tape of Power Slave, and that was all she wrote. And I fell in love with metal. I used to, back in the day, I'm 47 years old, I act like I'm 20, but I used to write, they used to have addresses on tapes and CDs, and I used to write them, and that's how I got into this stuff. And that's how I got to be friends with some of the musicians like Overkill and personal people that I know, like Terry Butler and whatever. Used to write them back in the day. And nowadays, for music, it's all downloaded bullshit. You don't find a hidden gem in a rough. If you used to go to music stores, and I mean, your album has a phenomenal fucking cover. It screams fucking metal. And if I went to a store and I saw that which there's very few record stores now. There's some, but if you see that without even hearing it, I would fucking buy it. Like immediately, I was like, fuck, let me buy that album. It looks fucking sick on the front of it. But how do you guys think? Because you're in the transitioning thing. Because you're having albums made, you're having stuff made, but everything's going to digital. How does it affect a band nowadays? And what do you think about that?
Well, definitely you don't make money because you get 0.0000043 cents per stream or whatever, and nobody really buys music unless you only make money from merch on tour, basically. So you kind of have to tour if you wanted to do a band, seriously. On the flip side, though, it's easier than ever to get your music out there. I guess you could say it kind of waters it down, but I kind of like the diversity. I like the idea of people just creating art. I guess I'm a little bit more abstract in that thought, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, because I feel that it's important to have albums and important to have stuff like that because it's still people still like that. I hope it never goes away. It does because it gives bands like you guys an opportunity to share something on a bigger scale. Without seeing it like on like iPhone or Apple Music. When I look at this little picture, I'm like, that looks really fucking cool. I wish I had that at an album, but it just is what it is. And as far as touring and so forth like that, do you guys wanting to go to Europe and go to South America? And what one place you really want to go to?
Japan. I want to go to Japan so bad.
Everybody's going to Japan.
Yeah. Anyone else, guys? Anybody? Europe is everywhere. Pretty much everywhere. Yeah, Australia. Anywhere. I've never been across the pond anywhere. So anywhere I step foot, any other part of the world besides North America, it would just be amazing.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, because like I said before, I think it's. I've been to Europe one time, and it's just a whole different world over there. We have people that work for the magazine that lives in Germany. She just sent me pictures of Summer Breeze. With bands like Deicide and so forth playing on these massive big stages, and it's nothing like here in the States. I've been to Maryland Death Fest. It has nothing. Maryland Death Fest has nothing on Summer Breeze or Sand Party or any of these big festivals. They are just monsters. They have a festival and then have a carnival next to you. It's a full fucking circus carnival playing like you're gonna. I mean, just the experience alone. Or just hundreds of thousands of people watching a show, and no one's being a dick. Everyone's getting along, and everyone's having. It just doesn't happen here in the States, So I think that I don't know if you guys heard about it, but that festival Exit 111 that's happening down in I think Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's monstrously huge. It's the first European festival that's kind of had that atmosphere to play in the States. Rocklahoma and things like that, people play that and they're like, oh, we play Rocklahoma. That's nothing compared to Europe. Nothing. Even the small European festivals are way bigger than that. But I hope you guys will get to Europe pretty fucking soon. I really think. I think within the next year you guys be in Europe. And you guys will be gods over there. Because they love that shit. You need to hook up with like Suicide Angels or UDO or somebody like that because they're just pure speed metal thrash, So they bring a lot of people and so forth like that. But it is what it is. So, but where can everyone find your stuff? Where can everyone buy your stuff?
This is perfect. We have everything in one place, so it's easy for everyone to find. You can go to creepingdeath.net. It has a pre-order link to pre-order and buy our new album. You can preload it on Spotify and Apple Music and all that as well, if that suits you. And as well, all of our social media links are also on the website. So all you have to do is click, and it'll send you to the link to our social media page. So it's nice and neat and easy for everyone to find.
Awesome, absolutely. I want to thank you guys for doing the interview. Thank you for being very patient. It was kind of a weird day. And we'll get this posted. I'll give it to Liz, and we'll post it on our own media sites and push it as much as we can. And I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck. And hopefully in St. Louis, if you come down to St. Louis, and we'll keep track, I want to come down and see you guys. And then
for sure.
Go from there, definitely. So, but thank you for talking to me. If you want to hang on the line real quick before I let you go, and then, but thank you for doing the interview, and I'll see you when I see you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.